We want to write a song about the California wildfires called The Fire Kept Burning. Bingo. Hit return, and let's see what we get. Okay, in the hills of a golden land where the sun was burning. Good enough. Fire, chorus. The fire kept burning through the echoes of our pain, turning forest into ashes. I can generate another one, and I can just copy this. So, say we like this. So we're going to grab it from here and copy it. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up whatever text editor you prefer. And then I take this and I paste it. So basically we have our form here. It helps the AI engine if you do certain things. And one of them is to put brackets around each section. So I have a verse, then I have a chorus. You go through your song, bracket it up. Only takes a minute. And that helps the AI engine know what to do. Now, you can put all sorts of different kinds of things in between these brackets. You can tell it you want to do a guitar solo, or you want it to do a ripping sax solo, or you want to have a moaning East Indian vibe guy screaming in the background or something like that. You put in a prompt with the little brackets around it, and it will attempt to do that. And it's really fun. Once that process actually happens, then you spend a lot of your time listening. We're going to generate a bunch of stuff and see if we get anything good or not. And then I'm going to show you how I take that into Logic. And then once it's in Logic, I can manipulate it in there too. What I usually find as I'm going through my generation with Suno and I start to listen to how it generates the lyrics and how it sings them for me, I'll go back in and I'll tweak the words. I'm going to add a word, a the, or whatever word. Maybe it's a one-syllable word or a two-syllable word. Whatever I have to do to make it react. Here's the whole goal, to make the AI engine do what you want it to do. The whole thing here is trying to get a song that I like. Trying to get a song that is what I'm hearing in my head, or at least it's close enough that I can make it into what I want. And that's where the fun starts. The next thing is styles. I found this list on the internet. I'm sure there are plenty of other ones out there. What this does is this gives you an idea of what the AI engine's going to do when you program it. Is it going to give you a voice? What style are you after? Are you after something specific? Are you after something completely bizarre? Because I've heard stuff that is so funny. Now, the AI engine, you cannot put in a person's name when you're generating your stuff. You can't say, I want to have something that sounds like Drake or Bruno Mars or Fleetwood Mac. You cannot mention a specific name. And let me tell you, sometimes you get some results. I have a song to play a little bit later that sounds very much like a certain artist, and you'll be really surprised when you hear it, how much it sounds like that other artist. It blows my mind. It gets that close. That's the other thing you're going to find really fun is the way that it sings. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to think, what can an AI engine do? How can an AI engine sing? Here we go. Now, there are other audio generators out there. Try the other ones. They all kind of work the same way. If you generate a song, it's only there for fun. It's not yours. You don't own it. You can't touch it. You can't chop it up. You can, but it's not yours. It's theirs still. Until you pay that fee, you don't own anything. First thing we do is we click Create. We're going to use the custom one.
You can't copyright it though, correct?
Copyright what? Once you own it, it's yours. You can copyright it, it's yours. But you can't copyright the ones that you don't pay for. So that's their rules. The rules of the AI engine state that when you create it, it's yours. I'm a professional songwriter as well as a guitar player and a keyboard player and da-da-da. I've been doing this for years. All of those skills come into being and understand what a good song structure is. Because trust me, this thing doesn't give you good song structure. Not very often. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does the weirdest things where you're going like, oh yeah, this is great. Then suddenly you're like, huh? Oh no, that's terrible. Sometimes it's way too fast. Sometimes it's way too slow. So it takes a long time. It takes a conscientious input into this thing to generate something really good. Now, you can generate something decent and fun, but really good. Somebody just asked here, does Suno create the track or just the lyrics? In this specific case, we generated the lyrics using ChatGPT. The lyrics aren't super great or anything, but they're fun. What's my little warning song about, hey, we've gone too far? Anyways, so here we go. We're going to take our lyrics and pop them in here. What you want to be sure about is your commas are in the right spots and that your spaces are right. So even though I popped it in here, it didn't format the way I want it to. I want those commas and periods to be in the right spots. Otherwise, it won't work the way I want it to work. The phrasing, the way I want it to phrase. So what you find is the phrasing is determined by commas. So real important to know that. Because sometimes you can double the speed of this. If I got rid of some of these commas in between these two lines here, I could double the speed so it would happen within one phrase line instead of two phrase lines. 4 bars versus 8 bars to be musical. I wanted this to be as realistic as it could be. I didn't want to have everything done ahead of time. I was really curious to see what we would come up with and just show you guys. This is how you do it. That way you can go back, look at the video, take one more look, because I want to make sure I got all the spaces and commas in the right spots. Now, the other thing that often happens with me is the chorus is too short, so I double the chorus, but in this specific instance, the lyric looks like it's rock and roll. Okay, so now, what's our title going to be? The Fire Kept Burning. Now, the big part. What style do we want it to be? Okay, indie rock it is. Got any more? Do you want a male vocal or female vocal? There we go, female. Pop. That'll make it nice. That looks good enough. There's plenty here for us to get started with. So then you hit create and you wait. You don't wait very long. So there's our song. Indie rock, female, pop. It's called The Fire Kept Burning. And as soon as we touch it, we can see there's all our lyrics here that we put in, and we can hit play and we can see what we got.
In the hills of golden land, where the sun was burning bright.
That doesn't sound very indie pop, rock.
Dreams of flames, silent night. Whispers turn to
Okay, y'all, that's cool.
as the smoke began to rise.
This sounds like Billie Eilish, doesn't it?
Where the shadows start to bite. The fire kept suffering with every blaze. A story fades, but we're holding on and learning. In the heart of devastation, the fire kept burning. Once upon a time it seemed the sky was clear and blue. Now the horizon
Pretty cool, isn't it? I'm used to it now. This one's actually pretty good. Some of them are really dogs, but this one's pretty good, and it's very much sounds like Billie Eilish. I'm like really surprised. Yes, these are our lyrics. We made them in ChatGPT, remember? So yes, your own lyrics. In fact, yeah. I want to hear the bridge. Yes, your lyrics.
It's not the end.
Wow, it's a long one too.
Though the charred remains we find a will to start anew in the roots that ride.
Okay, that's where I would stop because the bridge isn't good enough for me. But the rest of it is pretty darn good for a start, right? I prefer to do this until I have the components of the main track that I want. For example, often it'll give you 2 separate bridges. One bridge I won't like at all, but the other bridge is perfect. So what do? You take it into Logic or your digital audio workstation, whichever one you work with, or 2-track editor, and you chop it around and you go, okay, you know what? I like this here, I like that there, I like that. And we're gonna get into that in a second here. So there's our song. At this point, we're like completely blown away. So let's listen to the other one. Back to our library.
In the hills of golden land where the sun was burning bright, a spark ignited dreams of flames in the still and silent night.
Way
Whispers
fast,
turned
the
to roaring
lyric.
cries as the smoke began to rise, a heartache in the embers light where the shadows start to bite. The fire kept burning through the echoes of our pain, turning forests into ashes in the memory.
So that's what happens. You get a good one, and usually it takes a lot longer to get a good one. We like the first one, we're going to keep that, and we're going to generate another one. I like getting different ideas. Now, one of the things I've been finding out about AI that I appreciate the most, it's helping me learn how to write a better song. As I'm going through and I'm listening to all these, I'm hearing most of the time a pretty well-structured melody with really well-structured chords in a really well-structured song style. Create another two, excuse me, but just for fun. So we got one that sounds like Billie Eilish. I have another song here I'm going to play you guys in a bit, and it sounds just like Taylor Swift.
In the hills of golden land where the sun was burning bright.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to stop for a minute here. Here's part of the problem. This pop prompt is making it so it's not kicking butt. It's not like giving us a good indie rock tune. It's giving us too much of a pop thing, and it's not really giving me something exciting enough for my tastes anyway. So here we go. Let's create a new 2 songs. So this is the next thing that gets to become really important. If you're going through and you find as you're doing your prompts that you're not getting the song style you like, change the prompt. In fact, what's really fun is going in and looking at other people's songs and seeing what their prompts are and how they write their lyrics. Oh my gosh, you won't believe some of the lyrics that I've seen. It's just, I sit there and I read them and I go, man, what's that gonna sound like? And they're really good, some of these things. It's like a big crowd, whoa, or something like that. When they have a big background chant thing sound and doing some kind of a really good hook. Blows my mind. So here we go. Okay, so these are indie rock female without the pop. There we go.
In the hills of golden land, spark ignited dreams of flames. In the still and silent night, whispers turn to roaring cries as the smoke began to rise. A heartache in the embers light where the shadows start to bite. The fire kept burning through the echoes of our pain, turning forests into ashes in the memories of rain. With every blaze, a story fades, but we're holding on and learning. In the heart of devastation, the fire kept burning.
That's a pretty good one. I could listen to the rest of it, but I'm curious to hear what this one sounds like.
In the hills of golden land where the sun was burning bright, a spark ignited dreams of flames in the still and silent night. Whispers turned to roaring cries as the smoke began to rise. In the embers light where the shadows start to bite. The fire kept burning through the echoes of our pain, turning forests into ashes. The fire
Ran out of song so far. There's beginning of a good song idea there. This is what happens next for me. At this point now, I've got my song idea ready to go, and I want to do some work on it because I'm not happy with the song yet. So this is what I do. We're going to bump into Logic now. So the arrangement's not right. So we chopped it up and we went, okay, you know what? Forget that arrangement. We're going to use this arrangement instead. You throw your audio in Logic, you double click on your audio file, and you have the Smart Tempo option. If I click on Smart Tempo, it will analyze that song and then it will make it run 4/4 with 143 beats a minute, blah, blah. It will completely synchronize the whole thing. And how can I prove that? Because the first song here, check it out. Here's one tempo.
Was just another day, I'm walking at the park. We were about to leave since it had got so dark. That is when you appear, right out of anywhere. Everyone just stopped, and then they started to stare at heaven.
So there's that versus slowed it down because it felt just a little too rushed to us.
And then they started to stare in the warmth of your presence. I feel the world intertwine. So let's chase the sunset hand in hand, side by side. With you I found my heaven, in this love I can't confide. Every moment's a treasure, a melody so divine. Forever in this fairy tale, I'll make you forever mine. Ooh.
Now I use the first lyric over again.
George, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When you bring the track in from Suno, does it break it down by the stems?
Not yet. That comes next.
Okay.
Yeah. Once we get this part done, we've taken our song, we've edited it the way we want it, we've made sure it's the tempo that we want it. Then we do the next thing, which is we right-click on it, we use Stem Splitter. And what Stem Splitter does in Logic is it splits it into 4 stems. You get a vocal stem, an other stem, and a drums stem. And those stems basically reproduce your arrangement. I'll just show you exactly how that works right now. Here, Stem Splitter. Bring it up, click on Split. There you go. That's how quick it works. Now, it only works on the newer generation M Series 1, 2, 3, 4 Max. So basically, here's our stems. It's all broken down. I can play each one by itself.
We were about to leave since it got so dark. That is when you appear right out of anywhere.